Welcome back everyone. Today we're talking about how to win your first solo in Fortnite Season 5, and the game, it just feels different from Season 4. They made a lot of changes, including changes to the map. Now we have Paradise Palms chilling where Moisty was. We also had Anarchy removed. These were two of my favorite locations, but they've also been replaced with very interesting points of interest as well. So this is stuff we're going to talk about. Rotations, they are different as well thanks to rifts and carts. I absolutely love driving around in carts. I think it's so much fun. It's like they introduced Mario Kart kind of into the game. I've seen a bunch of people making jokes like that. And then also the rifts are free launch pads and allow you to kind of be more tactical. If you can target rifts and go rift to rift, you are going to be able to get around the map very easily and also avoid bad situations that you don't want to find yourself in. And then also I want to talk about inventory dynamics, because now that they've introduced a shotgun recharge time, it makes it very interesting that you can't switch back and forth between double pump or pump tac or pump heavy. That's just completely out of the game now, so you definitely need to have the right inventory setup to win the end of these solos. So I'm going to get into all of this and more, guys, and I'm going to try to help you guys win your first solo in Fortnite Season 5. So to start us off, we have to talk about the landing, and you will see me land far away. This is step one. You are always going to want to take off at the back of the bus. So many people want to get down to these new points of interest, or they're just impatient, so they will all jump early. Your goal for your first city should be to fight 2 to maybe 3 people tops. Sometimes you're not going to fight any, and that's a really good situation for you. The reason being, you can loot up, you can get the right inventory set up, you can get shields, and it's just going to make your life a lot easier, because we all know some fights come down to just 5 HP, and that can be the difference between winning and losing. So you will see the next step is just to make sure you're scouting around. As soon as you see people and you are looted up, I head in their direction because I want to eliminate them as early as possible. Once I get that clean up, luckily this city was empty after that until I had looted everything else and was leaving. Then it's just key to make sure you guys are listening. If someone's camping like this guy was, I was running around and looting. So luckily we turn on him, we get an easy kill here, and then your job is just to get into the zone, guys. So very simple steps. Wait till the end of the bus, then pay attention to who lands there. Hopefully it's very few and you chose a good location. Wipe those people out and then rotate to the next zone, and we will go from there. The next important piece we have to talk about is rotation. So you're into the second zone. Where do you go from there? Of course you are heading towards the third zone, but the thing is, you really don't need to focus on that too much if you know where rifts are. And so right here I'm showing you a fantastic location outside of Dusty Divot that I really recommend you start getting acquainted with. There are almost always rifts here, if not always rifts here. Every time I've been there, I've used a rift. And then also, I would always try to make sure you are paying attention to what mountains have rifts near them as well. Those structures always seem to have rifts following them. But right here, you will see I utilize one. I'm hanging up in the air, and I am just scouting around, seeing where people might be, seeing where rotations are coming in at, and trying to figure out, you know, if I engage these people, will I get pinched? I end up deciding, you know what, I want some kills, I'm not happy with 2. But the thing is, if you're more conservative, you don't really like engaging like that, if you're just going for a win, don't do it then, man. You guys had the perfect opportunity right there to just continue on into the next zone, and you can just be chilling out and let all these guys fight, and then you would catch the champion and you could take him out, because he would most likely be weak from either the fight or the storm if he got hung up for too long. So that's my recommendation there, guys. If you're going to be rotating, rifts have made it to where you don't have to focus on rotating so early. You just have to make sure you know where they are at, so you utilize them early enough to get into the next zone. Once you've made it through into zone number 2 and you're trying to get to zone number 3, I would have some goals for you by the time you leave zone number 3. I always try to find an explosive before I get to zone number 3, because honestly, just the RPGs are just so strong today. Luckily, I find a guy that's using one. I immediately go hunt him down and get that RPG. It's just so key, guys. They do consistent damage. This should be an absolute staple if you're trying to go for your first win. If you didn't want to fight there though, or you wanted to take a little bit longer because they were still fighting, I just knew that was an easy kill, and that's something you should always take advantage of. If people are like that, guys, and even if you're a conservative player, I would hope you could shoot out a platform. So definitely just kind of weigh the situations. This is where your decision making is important, but you could have let those two guys fight until one of them died and then went in. I wanted to get that guy while he was distracted though, and it was gonna be an easy kill. I did want to show you though why it's so key to have an RPG. So in this game, I had 9 kills. A guy pushes up onto me. I think I'm safe. I've got my traps down here if he pushes in. Instead, he comes from behind and RPGs me. So immediately, I'm down over 100 health and shield. It's just super frustrating. Now I'm in a panic. We get into a build battle and things just are not going my way. Now, earlier he had built up on me. If I had an RPG, I would have just shot down his structure and it would have been game over for that push. But instead, I don't have one. Now I'm just panicking, trying to get away, and I end up getting shotgun from above. I do not want this to happen to you, and that's why it's so key to get those RPGs or grenade launchers early. Another thing I wanted to point out, whenever you're waiting for zones, don't just camp. Don't just sit there and wait. Make sure you are utilizing your time. So right here, I've created a stockpile of shields and good weapons. That's what you should be doing if you have the time. That way, if someone fights you from range, you can do some damage and take some damage, then heal up and then go back into the fight at full strength. It's so key to winning at the end of games. So to rehash everything we've kind of talked about before the very end of the game, the last circle, I did want to say I have been just absolutely pounding decision making is pretty much what I'm trying to get at, is you need to play conservative, you need to rotate correctly. It's really just the decision making. If you aren't a player that has an amazing shot, it's decision making and also rotations that can separate you from players of your same caliber. We all don't have shots that we just snap on people, so if you make the right decisions, you are going to give yourself the best chance to get those victory royales and snag that first win of the season. So I would always be looking at your gameplay and seeing what decisions you could have made better. But we're really just saying is that whenever you get into the new zone, always stay along the border. You need to build up and just kind of pay attention to where people are coming in at. Always pay attention and remember where the battle bus came from, because that will tell you what directions people may be coming from and where the kind of main mass of players are. And then understand your strengths and weaknesses. I understand I am not a great builder. You will see right here, this guy gains the high ground every single time we are fighting. So I just continue to back down and just kind of see if I can ever get a window. So luckily I rocket launched him there, but that may not always be the case. Just always play to your strengths, guys. It will give you the best chance to finish someone at the end of the game. And to wrap up the video, guys, I did want to show you an example of the zone moving at the very end. The very last zone moves now. I'm sure many of you have seen this, but you have to play for this, especially if people are chilling. Whenever I was in this lobby, this was my first game of Fortnite Season 5, so I was playing conservative, and so were a bunch of other players, and I didn't even realize I had a launch pad and could have gotten into the new zone. You will see then I'm just scrambling, and don't do this. You will see an example of me doing it correctly, understanding where the zone's going, and trying to get there as quickly as possible. I like this a lot because it makes people have to stop camping, but at the same time, if you're not prepared for it, you aren't going to thrive. So thank you very much for watching, everyone. I hope this video helps. Keep working on your decision making and understanding what inventory you need to excel, and you guys will start snagging more and more victory royales in Season 5. So thank you very much for watching. This has been Josh from RodeyBros, and I will see you all in the next video.
Started as a zero, I was chasing dreams, trying to turn into a hero. Sniper rifle, 5 rivals, going for the title. I could be the one that they idol. Red brush, climbing stairs, fire here, I'm over there. It's Rodey fam, hit you while we flying through the air.